Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher. And this is part 2 of showing you what I did on this. This is a printed copy of a thing that I did that I sent as a birthday gift to a friend. Again, I used it as a background one time on one of my recent videos and was asked by one of my followers if I would teach how I did this. And so in part 1, we got this far. And I did Chocolate Star, which didn't come out just right, but it's okay. Msst. This is Fricle. This one, oh, no, I'm forgetting. That one is Javik, Fricle. This one, of course, is Hollis with Moon Pie and Hendon. And then this one is Oolong. And the next one I want to show you is what I used at the bottom. And this is called Bumper. And it is by Zentangle. And it's a pretty simple border or edge pattern. And I am going to try to not make this piece as busy as that first one, but Bumper makes a nice border. And the way that you do it is you're just going to come in, and it's like putting blades of grass. And you can have them kind of squarish at the top or pointed or however you want to do it. You're going to come down to the bottom, and then you're going to make another line and then come back up, and then we're going to go behind as if this little blade of grass is larger. I made that one a little more fat and pointed. And my point is, you can do it however you want, because in nature, these things are not going to be exact like grass or leaves or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to come out a little bit, and I'm going to go in this direction. I'm going to make that one pointed also. I'm going to come down, go over, and again, I'm going to come behind, come back around. And it's difficult to go behind this stem, so it's just going to look like the stem from this goes behind your, or this blade goes behind this stem. Okay, so we're just going to continue going like that. And they don't always have to come back behind. I'm going to have this one look like it goes behind that. Make your line. Come back. That one went behind. Have this one come up a little bit taller. Just vary it however you want to. Try not to make this take too terribly long. Again, just keep coming up. Make this various sizes and shapes. And have this one curved back. Go behind. And you don't ever have to make yours look just like mine, of course. Do the things that you like to do. And as we get here, it will go behind the pattern that's already there. And I'll have it come up a little bit. Come out in this direction. And this takes a lot of concentration, so I'm not doing a lot of talking. And that's okay. I just noticed those look almost exactly like. I'm trying to make it look a little more varied than that. Okay, almost done. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a line, a couple of little openings here to look like our grass went behind that. Okay. So that was Bumper. And in the original, they do put some little things behind, like berries or whatever you'd want to call it, but I'm not going to add that, at least not for now. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is a couple of these that are called Bloomerz from Jenna Black. These are really cute. And if you look at the step outs and tanglepatterns.com, there are a variety of ways that she did these. And I'm just going to put a couple of those. And the way you do it is you're going to start, you're going to start with this part. So the inside of these, they look like gourds. So you're going to start with the inside of that gourd. And I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to make it kind of oval. And then fill it in. All right, and then the second thing that you'll do is just put a little bit of a wavy line all the way around this till you come back to the beginning. And then from these peaks, we're just going to put a little bit of a curved line back toward the center. Okay. And then I'm going to do this one. So we're just going to make our little gourd come down like this, a little bit fatter at the bottom, and then come back up to the top. Okay, and then from the bottom of this, we're going to go behind our little blades of grass. And I think I'm going to put like some little auras down through here so we can see that this was the stem for our gourd. And then I'm going to add these dashed lines. So just very softly with your micron, you're going to come down a little bit and just leave some little spaces. Make it uneven, just like you would see on a fruit or a vegetable. These little lines that make the pattern on the gourd, right? Add a little bit of shading there below that one. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one over here on this side. Oh, sorry, just realized I was not on screen at all. Okay, so I started with the orb, the oval, and I put these petals behind it, having them go in and reach to the center. I do apologize. And then I have put this behind it. Again, this is the one that I'm doing. I'm going to come down a little bit and add another one. And another one. And then just kind of work around what you already have down here in the grass. Now I'm going to put my stem. Part of it's going behind that blade of grass down to the bottom. Okay. And then the next one that I want to show you is called Dewdrops. And it's by Mahe, Zehra, Husain, and she is also a CZT. And I got this from one of her books on Amazon. And this one starts with just a simple stem. And I think I'll have that decisions. I think I'll have it come up from behind this. So I'm going to start with my stem coming this way. And I'm just going to bring it up a little bit and add like a little fescue at the end. And the way that this pattern works is that you just put these little drop-like patterns on each side. So let's do that. And we're going to alternate the way that we put them. As far as alternate which side. Okay, and then we're going to fill those in, and this is your opportunity to make the adjustments that you might need to, because see, I made these a little bit too small, so I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. And this one makes an easy filler. And then you just go back, and from the tip of each of these little leaves, you're going to come and make a slight curve to where your next little leaf starts. Okay, so that was Dewdrops. And let's see. Actually, what I think I'll do is add that same pattern over here to try to tie these in a little bit. So I'm going to come from behind here. And just make a little bit of a wavy pattern that's going to go back off the paper. Okay. And I'm going to do these on one side at a time. Okay. I'm going to switch to this side and do the same thing. I really do love making just a bunch of botanical type patterns all together. And I tend to just, I'm going to go ahead and go past my border. I tend to just pick them and put them down as I see them. Here's my end. Okay, so now we're just going to go from the tip of each of these to the beginning of the next. It curves in a little bit. All right, so then now we have a little bit extra something on that side. So next, I'm going to add, I think it's so hard to decide. Of course, these are non-representational, so they are not meant to be just like anything you see in your garden. So I want to add this Mooka flop, and I'm going to have it come off of this one. And to me, it looks a lot like flux, but this is the way that I think is it Rick that does Mooka a little bit more like this. Anyway, we're going to do Mooka flop. And again, it's just going to be, first of all, a stem coming this way, and I'm going to have it curve, come down like this. And I'm going to put my first petal here. And then, as you can see, just the petals alternate on each side. Come around and curve up, and then touch. Actually, when I do something like this, it takes me a long time to decide what to do. So I'm trying to make decisions quickly here so that this video doesn't go too long. And down here at the bottom, if you look at this one, I have fescue and poke root, poke leaf, zinger mixed in with these. So I'm going to put some of that in. I'm not going to put poke root and poke leaf, but I do want to put fescue and zingers in here. And I'm going to have this fescue coming behind that blade. And I like to leave a little bit of a highlight, a little white spot at the top of my fescue. So I'm just going to go here and there and add some of these. I always like the drama that fescue adds. I've learned that mostly from watching Melinda Barlow. She loves to add little fescues. And have that one go in front. So I put my line over that blade of grass. And this one is going to be zinger. So I'm going to put 2 lines. And then my little beginning of the cap. And then there are different ways that you can do zinger, but this is one of my favorite ways. And I just like the touch that zinger adds. I'm going to do another one here. It's going to go up a little bit taller. You could add any pattern on this. Hopefully you'll watch and get some ideas and then come up with your own ideas. Doing another zinger here. Okay, I'm going to have one come from behind here. Have a fescue sneak out. Another little fescue here. This one's going to curve back. And now another zinger. And then a fescue behind this. Another one here. I've already got some fescues over here, so there we go. We've added a little bit of drama there at the bottom. And trying to decide what to do next. I think the next thing I want to show you is one of my favorites, and this is called Sprigs by Michelle Beauchamp. I'm not sure. I have it just in one spot on this one, but I think I'm going to have it sneak down through this area. Okay, so as if I've got a tree or something up here. Again, I know it's not supposed to look realistic, so I'm going to have this start in this area. And I'm just going to curve it around and have it end here. And we use a double line, so I'm going to R that slowly, because my R's are never as neat as the first line. But again, it's okay, because I don't do perfect. And I think I'll start down here at the bottom. And the way that Sprigs works is that I'm going to do like an X. So this part of the X comes in this direction. And then the next one, again, it's like an X, but it's going behind this. Okay. And then we're going to put like a little leaf behind each one of these. I'm going to turn and add another little leaf. Zoom in a little. And I'm going to try to keep this on the screen. It's a lot different when you're working with a big sheet of paper. Okay, so I have something around each one of those. And now I'm going to aura those leaves again. And then you can have a little springy thing coming off. All right, I'm going to move up. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I try to make them, what's the word, perpendicular? I think it looks better. And then we aura this. So today is August 30th, and I just found out that the list for October 2021 has been released, and I will be recording videos for each of the prompts for October that come from Stephanie Jennifer and Debbie New, and I'm hoping to get a head start on those. So I probably won't do a lot of other videos until I have those finished, unless I come up with something exciting that I just have to share with you guys. Okay, I'm going to have a little springy thing come off of that one. Then I'm going to move up and add one more. Okay. We add our auras again. Okay, I think we've got this pretty full already. So the next couple of things I want to show you is just some ideas for how to add a couple of cute little bugs. This is the pattern Spud by Debbie New. And if you put a lot of spuds together, you get a really pretty flower. That's why I have the arrow pointing to the back. But one thing that I saw from Melinda Barlow is that she can't help but make these into a little bug or a bee because she is a beekeeper. So let's put one, let's see, going in this direction. So this one starts, zoom in, with a little orb, and then we're going to put two like little wings. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit bigger. This will be the body of the bug. Okay, and then we're going to R those, starting with the head or the little orb. Okay, so that is Spud, like you see here. And we're going to add some little antenna. And you could also add some little stripes. And then it really starts to look like a bug. Okay. And then the other one, this is called 4-stroke, and it's also called 4-stroke insects. So this flower part is the 4-stroke, but you can also turn it into little bugs. So 4-stroke insects. And we're going to have that one going towards these little gourds. So again, to do that one, we're going to start with, well, let's have it back here, the little head. And then I'm just going to add more little orbs coming behind it. I'm getting a little bit smaller. And I find that I get mine a little bit more even if I'll do the left side first. You do what works best for you. But we're going to make a wing. And then we're going to R it inside. And then another little wing next to that. And add an aura. And then on the opposite side, trying my best to make the size match. Okay. And this isn't exactly following her step out, but it works and it makes a cute little bug. Okay, so there's our little 4-stroke bug. So the next thing we're going to do is shading. Let me get all of these out of the way. And I have my graphite pencil and my blending stuff. And I'm going to start up here on the chocolate star. And I'm just going to put a little bit of shading inside of each of these. And then soften that with my blending stump. And I like to say that when I'm doing my videos, that it's a blending stump, because I do the automatic closed captioning from YouTube. And when I say that word, it comes across as tortilla if I say tortillon. So it's a blending stump. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a bit of shading inside each of these also. You know, like I say, just play with it. Test it to see how it looks. Because I do have an eraser and I can always take it out if I wanted to. All right. Down here on this, I'm going to add shading, graphite, at the base of each of these petals. And while I'm here, I'm going to put a little bit of graphite on just one side of this zinger and that one. Okay. And then just soften that one side and soften where you have the shading at the base of these leaves, and then just kind of pull them out a little bit more as the petals get bigger. Okay, same thing here. We're just barely going to move it. And then as they get a little bit bigger, pull it out a little bit more. Okay. Inside this bug, I'm going to just shade one part, the inner part, and soften it. For this one, I'm going to start with a little bit of graphite there, and then I'm going to add graphite coming down that stem and a little bit at the bottom of each of these leaves. Gives a little bit of substance to our stem there. Okay, I'm going to add shading to the bottom of this one, like I did on this part over here. And I hope that was on the screen. Basically, all I did was add a little bit of graphite to each of these. So basically, if you're interested in these botanical type drawings, just practice the patterns that you like the most and put them together. I have several, if you look at my Instagram posts. I have done this many times. And again, my favorite thing to do is to color the background first and then put in all of my patterns. Okay, so there's that one. I have a couple of zingers down here. I'm going to add a little bit of graphite just on one side. And I'm doing the same side on each of them. There's another one. Okay, for these, I'm going to put just a little bit of graphite down in the center, just around that oval, and just soften that a little bit. I'm going to add graphite just below where these would be kind of shaded there, and then some along the bottom. We'll pull this down and push that part up a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to do basically the same thing here. Put a little bit of graphite around this. And then I'm going to put some just along the edge here of each of these. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in that stem with some graphite. And then just pull your edges in a little bit along here and keep it white there in the center. And then just soften around this center orb. For the henna drum here, I am going to add shading along the base of these petals. Add a little bit of graphite on each of these petals here. Then I'm pulling that up just a little bit where those leaves meet that stem. Add a little bit of graphite at the bottom of Mooka. Okay. And then on sprigs, I like to put a little bit of graphite in the center of each of these leaves. And then just soften those a little bit. And it tends to make the inside all shaded, but that's how I like it. You could leave it without any shading. Kind of makes it look like a variegated leaf. Okay, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of shading at the bottom of each of these leaves. And then you could, if you wanted, you know, add a shadow all the way. I'm going to try it on one of these and see if I like it. If I don't, I will use my eraser. No, I don't like it. So I'm going to take that off. Excuse me. All right. I think we have this done. Okay, excuse my cough. Got a tickle in my throat. I think the last thing I want to do is I'm going to go along the whole bottom with a little bit of graphite, just to kind of bring all this together. And then just soften it. Kind of grounds these little grass leaves or whatever you want to call them. And I need to add my chalk. I think I'm going to slip it in here. Okay. There you have it. I will try to get this flattened a little bit so that I can get a better picture of it. And we'll post it on Instagram or Facebook. And the way that I will try to flatten it is to turn it over and have a fine mister, and I'll put some water on there and then put it between a couple of pages of a book, a heavy book, and let it sit for a couple of days, and then see if I can't get it flat so that I can get a better picture. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you're so inclined, I would love for you to buy me a cup of coffee if you've enjoyed this, and that just helps me with some of the costs for having my channel. I really do appreciate you watching me, and I look forward to having the Inktober tangle patterns that are coming up soon. That's going to keep me very busy, but I enjoy doing it and learning the patterns. A lot of them will be new to me and probably new to you also. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.